Please welcome Greg Johnson.
Thank you very much. You know, it's a pleasure for me to be here, and I certainly want to thank those who helped make it possible. What an opportunity. I'm thrilled. I'm excited. I do want to correct one thing, though, Marvin. You said that I was a fourth-round pick. I was the fourth player picked. Yeah. Big difference there. One of the best decisions I ever made was going to Michigan State University. At least I like to think I made that decision. You know, I leaned on my parents heavily. I leaned on them for advice because I trusted them, and I knew they would not steer me wrong. I knew they had my best interest at heart. So the head coach there at the time, Gus Ganakis, and his assistant, Vernon Payne, what they did, I think they noticed the respect and admiration I had for my parents. So they stopped recruiting me, and they started recruiting them. They were at my house all the time. And Coach Gus Ganakis, let me tell you how he connected with my dad. I started playing basketball in Okinawa. My dad was stationed there. Well, Gus Ganakis fought in the Battle of Okinawa. So they had an immediate connection. And they grew a friendship. And instead of coming to my games now, they just go to my dad's house, hang out in his basement at his bar and drink their favorite libations. So, you know, when signing time came, you know, I go to my mom, my dad, and I say, okay, well, I've taken visits to Arizona State. I've taken visits to Minnesota. I've visited Central Michigan and the University of Detroit, Michigan State. What do you think? My dad says to me, son, I don't know about you, but I'm going to Michigan State. True story. Now we signed Earvin Magic Johnson, and the promise is now starting to take shape. Except for one thing. I'm the best player on the team. I've been there 2 years. He's just coming out of high school, but immediately the newspapers and the media start calling us Magic Johnson and the Michigan State Spartans. Now, you know, one thing that drives great athletes is your ego. Yeah? Yeah? I didn't like that. I said, you know what, we're a team. So we're the Michigan State Spartans. We're not Magic Johnson and the Michigan State Spartans. Now, I would have been okay if they had said Greg Kelser and the Michigan State Spartans. I would have been fine with that. I quickly realized that here's a young man who is supremely talented, and if I can embrace this, it's going to benefit me, and it's going to benefit the whole team, and we're going to win. And with that winning will come major recognition for everybody. So instead of being jealous of him as a teammate, again, I embraced him as a teammate. And I worked with him. And we became a great duo. And I tell people all the time when I'm speaking to teams and companies that jealousy within a team framework can be very detrimental. But competition can be very healthy. You know, one of the benefits of being a great college player is getting drafted early, getting drafted high, fourth player. One of the negative sides to that, though, is that you're usually going to be on a bad team. And that's what happened in 1979 when I was drafted by the Detroit Pistons. They were not championship caliber. They were coming off a 30-win season, and they drafted me in hopes that I could help turn that around. Didn't happen. Did not happen. You know, one of the things that I found out is that you really are responsible for your own success. No one else. But you're responsible for your own failure, too. Now, coming off a national championship at Michigan State, I was very proud. I was very proud to wear that banner that said champion, the ring that said champion. Man, you would have had to see me. I mean, there was a glide to my slide, okay? You know, I'm walking on campus, you know. I'm the man. I am the man. I'm a champion, and I loved it. I loved it. And I wanted all the accolades that came with it. I wanted all the recognition that came with it. And I wanted to be acknowledged for my part in it. And I got that. But now, fast forward a year. I'm on the Detroit Pistons. My rookie year, we've got 4 other rookies. We're not a very good team. And we have a very poor year. We win 16 out of 82 games. Now, you're talking about going from one extreme to the other, championship wearing rings, popping my collar and everything on this side, and now I'm on this team, one of the worst in the NBA. The stride was gone, needless to say. In fact, I didn't wear my Detroit gear, and my Detroit Piston bag I carried with the moniker on the inside, okay? And, all right? Now, we have a coaching change. We have a coaching change. And in the summer, before my second year, the new coach, he has a team meeting, and he brings everybody in individually. And in the midst of that meeting, he asked the question, why did the season go so poorly? And he asked everybody that question. Why did the season go so poorly? Well, a couple of months later when training camp started and we're all together as a team, he acknowledges that, hey, I had a meeting with each and every one of you, 15 guys, and I asked each one of you the same question individually. Why did the season go so poorly? He said not one of you pointed the finger at yourself. You guys had all kinds of reasons, all kinds of excuses why things went poorly, but no one took personal accountability. That stayed with me. That stayed with me. Lessons that I've learned participating in sports. Lessons that I apply now as I continue to remake myself. We are responsible. And if I wanted to receive all that went with being a champion, I had to take some responsibility in what went on in the failure of that team in 1979, 1980. So from that point on, I said, whatever I'm doing, and if I'm part of a group, if I'm part of a team, or whatever the case, if something goes wrong, if things aren't happening, if we're not measuring up to our expectations, I'm going to look at myself first. And in doing that, I believe that now I'm starting to solve the problem. I've accepted accountability. I've accepted responsibility, and now I'm going to do what I can do to help make it better. And I think if everybody can take that idea, everybody on the team, then we're already making progress to improving. I also learned that it's important to set goals. I found that, a lot of times people avoid setting goals because setting a goal requires a stern commitment. Once you set a goal, you have now taken ownership. And you have eliminated a lot of excuses. There's an old saying that if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. But the moment you set a goal, many roads are eliminated, and then there's one. Now, of course, that one is going to be full of obstacles and pitfalls and all these other things that you have to get over. But at least you know where you're going. You have to have a target. In order to achieve anything worthwhile, you have to be, and my coach used to say this all the time, you have to be willing to go beyond what is considered good enough. That requires major commitment, major commitment. Because the competition is fierce. It's fierce. Because we wanted to get better. We understood that you cannot stay in the same place. You cannot rest on your laurels. You know, nobody cares what you did yesterday. Case in point, my rookie year, Detroit Pistons, playing the Milwaukee Bucks in Milwaukee. Now, the night before, here in Detroit, I had scored 30 points in a game. We had won in one of our 16 wins. We had won. The next night, we're playing in Milwaukee against the Bucks, getting tore up. And I'm having a poor game. Mid-third quarter, some guy screams out at me, "Hey, Kelser, where's Magic when you need him?" My first thought was to flip him the bird. My second thought was, that's a good question. That's a really good question. Nobody cares what you used to do. You have got to continue proving yourself every day. There is no greater example of that than in sports. You're always called upon to prove yourself time and time and time again. There's a constant reinventing, remaking of yourself during a basketball season, during a football season, or any athletic endeavor. Because what you used to do doesn't matter. I want you to know that I am definitely a product of my upbringing, one that I'm thoroughly proud of. I am very, very happy to be here. I think that the lessons, again, that I learned have helped me when my career, NBA career, ended after 6 years because of devastating knee injuries. Because of all that I learned, I was able to make a successful transition from basketball to something else without a great deal of trepidation and fear. Yeah, I was very disappointed to leave that area of my life at such a young age, 28. But I was excited about what would lie ahead. I am very, very sure, paralleling that with what this company and this organization, this corporation is doing today. Yeah, there were some tough times, but I know you have to be supremely optimistic and hopeful and encouraged and excited about what lies ahead as you continue your remaking of your brand. And I'd like to wish you the best of luck. And I will continue to chart your progress and how close you're coming to your goals and achieving your aspirations. And I want you to know that it has been really a thrill for me to be here today to share some of my experiences in the hopes that you have gained some level of motivation, some level of higher aspiration as you continue to be not only the best individual or the best teammate, but ultimately and collectively the best team. Thank you very much.